Now we have all three differentials built and ready to go, it's time to start placing them into their final housings, and we'll start with bag C, the front gearbox. You'll need both threadlock and black grease for this bag, so keep them handy, and let's get going by spilling out the contents of bag C. As with previous items, all sections of the buggy seem really nicely produced. The plastic gearbox is pretty much moulded to perfection, although let's see how nicely this thing bolts together. We start with the main body of the gearbox and insert both bearings supplied within the package, the smaller to the outside and the larger on the inside. Next, feed the 12-tooth differential pinion gear through both bearings from the inside out, and place a small shim on the outer side before inserting the differential coupler. And after placing a little thread lock onto the set screw, insert it into the coupler and tighten down into place, taking care to hit the flat edge of the gear. Give the coupler a few turns, making sure everything is nice and free. Perfect. Next, insert the front differential, constructed in bag B, into the front gearbox just to see how it sits. If there is any play side to side, then use the two included shims on either side, enough until there is absolutely very little, if any, play. We're good without shims in this example, although do keep the shims safe in case you need to use them in future once the buggy has been run in. Although for now I can go ahead and remove the differential in order to place some black grease on the main ring gear. You don't need to go crazy with the grease here, just a small amount going around the gear as it helps reduce temperatures and makes the set last longer. After which it can be placed back into the front gearbox. We can then place the gearbox cover on top and secure into place using two of the 14mm cap head screws supplied within the package. We're screwing into plastic here, so tighten enough so it's snug, but don't over tighten as you'll risk stripping the threads. At this point I like to slowly turn the diff coupler as well as the differential itself just to get some of that grease spread around the ring gear and pinion, and to check everything is turning nice and freely. We can then proceed and seal up the gearbox by placing the final plastic piece on the bottom and securing into place using the two 6mm flathead screws, again taking care not to over tighten and strip out any threads. Gearbox now sealed, and you can give the differential a faster turn, really making sure it's spinning nice and free. The final step with the front gearbox is to attach the front shock tower. This is really nicely produced, absolutely no imperfections at all. Anyway, we'll first attach our shock standoffs. Notice we have 3 positions depending on how you wish to tweak your setup, although we'll go with the stock center position for the moment. So with the standoff inserted, secure into place with one of the 2 lock nuts included in the package. You'll find this easier with the use of a 5mm wrench to hold the standoff while we secure the lock nut down into position. Repeat with the second shock standoff and lock nut on the opposite side. With these in place, we can line up the shock tower with the front gearbox and secure into place using the final remaining 16mm cap head screws, 4 in total. Again, we're going into plastic here, so take care not to over tighten. A nice snug fit is all that's required. And with those in place, bag C is complete. Front gearbox built and spinning nice and smoothly. All parts fit together with perfection, no problems at all. Note we have the 2 differential shims spare, and as stated, keep these in a safe place should you need to install them once the buggy has been worn in a little. For now though, that's bag C complete, and on to our next video for bag D and the rear gearbox.